Hello everyone, this is Ranjit Thapa here. Today I'm going to explain about my master capstone project, that is Step software application. This has been found by a group of 4 members. Also, I'd like to thank all my professors who helped in each and every stage for the successful implementation of this master capstone project. Okay. Speaking of the introduction, Step is a web-based smart video application where the user can view the video in the form of sequential steps of instruction, and it is easy and efficient for everyone. The main goal of this project is to design and develop the analytical part of the Step application, which would serve the users so that they can view the number of viewers and watch time in minutes of the video. The next slide will be explained by my friend Gurjan Singh. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gurjan Singh, and my leader Ranjit Thapa has provided the overview of the application, that how does it work and which unique idea it provides to its users. No doubt which step has a unique idea by which we can upload a video in steps, and another user of the video can see the video in step, but there was an idea, or there was an feature in which the step was lagging behind, which was step Creator Studio. And we as a team got the opportunity to make a Creator Studio for the step. For the Creator Studio, we need to show the views, rating, watch time, and some other things also analytically. And the another major thing which we need to be kept in mind while making the Creator Studio is that the data should be secured, and it should be only visible to the particular user of that particular video. If we talk about some background of the project, then when we studied the data, we get to know that currently the user of the step can see the likes and dislikes, but there is no Creator Studio in the application. And we also get to know that the source code has been written in JavaScript and TypeScript, and the code has been pulled over GitHub, and the React technology was used in the application. These are the user stories. We can see them. If we talk about some literature review, we reviewed some literature to make the vision of the project more broader. We reviewed several literatures, but here are only some of them here. This literature we viewed because we want to know that which current technologies we can use to show the views of and all everything analytically, and which particular technology would be cheaper for us. When we compare the course with the help of this literature and this study, we get to know that microservices are cheaper than monolithic services. And the microservices by the cloud, by the customer, like AWS Lambda, it will be more cheaper. And we get to know that it's up to 70% cheaper than monolithic services if we use AWS Lambda services. The another literature which we review, that how the Kinetic platform works with the IoT, because after reviewing the another literature, we decided that we will use AWS Lambda, and then we started exploring more about AWS Lambda, and we get to know that we have to work with the Kinesis platform if we want to use AWS Lambda function. And another thing which we get to know that Kinesis platform also doesn't work alone. There are some other applications such as Kinesis, such as Kinesis Firehose and Kinesis Stream, which works with Kinesis platform. And if we talk about some features of the Kinesis platform, now then we can say that it's a real-time streaming data platform, and it also has the ability to edit data by using many of the tools, and it includes many services for efficient data transfer. These are the benefits which we get to know through this literature. So this was the literature some of the literature review which we reviewed. Thank you. Now the rest of the part will be explained by my another team member, Danish Taneja.
Hello everyone, I'm Danish. Now I'm continuing with methodology. Which methodology we use and why? We use the Agile methodology in this project. The Agile methodology anticipates change and allows for much more flexibility than traditional methods. Client can make small objective changes without huge amendments to the budget or their time schedules. The process involves breaking down each project into prioritized requirements and delivering each individual with an iterative cycle. As you can see in the picture, an iteration is the routine of developing small sections of each project at a time. Each iteration is reviewed and assessed by the development team and client. Why Agile is better? Visibility of project details, increases of team efficiency, ability to adapt to changes, and ability to scaling of the projects. Next, project development. Tools and technique requirements for this project. Firstly, Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Service is a subsidiary of Amazon providing on-demand cloud computing platforms and APIs to individual companies, governments on a meter-pay-as-you-go basis. Next is Kinesis Analytics. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics provides built-in function to filter, aggregate, and transform streaming data for advanced analytics. It processes streaming data with sub-seconds latencies, enabling you to analyze and respond to incoming data and events in real time. Next is DynamoDB. Amazon DynamoDB is a fully managed proprietary NoSQL database service that supports SSH key value and document data structures, and is also offered by Amazon.com as a part of Amazon Web Service portfolio. DynamoDB exposes a similar data model to and derives its name from Dynamo, but has a different underlying implementation. Next, project development continues. As you can see, there's the application load balancer on here. So this image I explained by giving an example. Before that, we need to create a stack which generates a beacon server URL. From that URL, we create some of the traffics. Let us suppose from the beacon server URL we receive a traffic of 3100 users. So application load balancer is divided, each subnet has a capacity of 1500 users. So what the application will do, that divide the each traffic into the perfect modules to the subnet, to each subnet like 1500, and rest of the 500 is going to the third subnet. Before that, we need to assign how many subnet we need for the application. After that, we get the data from the Kinesis Data Analytics. As in the Kinesis Data Analytics, we see the three tabs over there as data streams, data firehose, and data analytics. From the data firehose, we receive the input in the form of logs we can see by using the S3 buckets, which is unreadable. Then to make it readable, we need to visit to the data analytics by applying some of the MySQL queries. After that, we receive the data into the streams. So our main question arises that how we can see this data to the UI by applying the lambda functions to get the data into the DynamoDB table, which provides a real-time dashboard and real-time data from the real-time web analytics to Kinesis Analytics. After that, we need to export some of the trigger elements for our project. Then we receive the data analytics into the UI. So from there, users can see their video views and video watch time for the analytics. So next, here you can see from the CloudFormation I create the stack on here. As you can see on the left hand side, I create a watch time stack on here where we generate a beacon server URL on here. So this is all about my task. So the rest of the presentation is continued by my other team member, Damanveer Singh. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Davanbir Singh. I'm continuing with the Amazon Kinesis. Well, Amazon Kinesis make it easy to collect, process, and analyze data streams in real time. So you can get timely insights and react quickly to the new information. So in the Amazon Kinesis, we receive the data from the beacon server URL from this tag. And as you can see in this image, we can see three sections. The first one is data streams. The data stream is an output stream. It's a watch time output stream, and it will provide us the result in form of the graphs. The second one is data file host. It is an input stream, and there is a data analytics. It is where the analyzing of the views and the watch time is taking place. So let's directly visit the data file host. So here you can see in the data file host where it received the data from the beacon server in form of the log files as inheritance of the folder. The first folder name is based on the year, as the year is 2021. Inside that folder, the folder's name based on the months, and if we open the months folder, the folder inside name is based on the days. So that's how the data is stored data is stored in form of the logs. But this data is still unreadable. To make it readable and get the data in form of tables, we directly go to the analytic tab. As you can see, we run the SQL queries. After applying and running the queries, the result will be shown in the form of the tables. Like that, as you can see, the timestamp record, that time request. These are the data they are showed. But how the data is saving in the form, but how to post the data to the UI. So here we use the Lambda server that save the data from the Kinesis to the DynamoDB. So where is the DynamoDB? It is Amazon database. So there are two tables: watch time metric details, watch time metrics. After opening the first table, we can see there is a table. The data is come up in the form of a table. The metric type is the video is watched or the video is viewed. It's the event time, expired time, and these are the metric details which contain everything: if the video is watched or not, unit value, timestamp, and at which time the video is watched or not. And so there is still, we have a question raised that how to see the result in form of the graph. So we created some trigger events. These are the trigger events for watch time. If video is watched, then this trigger event import the data from the DynamoDB to the UI. And if the video is viewed, then this trigger event import the data from the DynamoDB to the UI. As you can see, this is our analytic UI. So down here, these are the name of the videos that have been viewed, and this from here you can see the vault video is viewed over 15 times, and the Vista thumbnail video is viewed about 3 times. And in the second graph, you can see how much time video is watched. The vault video is watched more than 120 minutes. The 180p test video is watched near about like 30 minutes. So that is our UI, and that's all from my side. Now my friend Ranjit will explain the rest of slides. Thank you.
Hello sir, this is Ranjit here. Now I'd like to explain about the flowchart of the Witstep software application. The flowchart is a pictorial representation indicating the workflow of the software application, like how it works. This is with respect to the login user. Like usually, if a user is new, he would like to register details and select the plan. If he selects the basic plan, it is cost free. And if we select the paid plans, they'll be providing with some extra new features, and the payment details is been done through API gateway. If the user is existing, he would like to log in with his credential, and then the credential will validate. If it matches, then you can log into the Witstep account, and you can utilize the features of the selected plan. Now, speaking about the entity relationship diagram, in the entity relationship diagram represent how the database has been created for the Witstep software applications. Now, here we use the Google Firebase Cloud in order to store the data, and the entities are created with the set of attributes, and representing the primary key, and containing the unique ID and the foreign key wherever necessary, with the cardinality relationships, like 1:1, 1:m, m:(n). This picture represent the entity relationship diagram of the Witstep software application. Now, speaking about the testing is the overall process in which the software design is been tested in order to satisfy whether the software being designed and implemented is satisfying all the user requirements, and all the parameters as well. Usually there are two types of testing, namely non-functional testing and functional testing. Non-functional testing are carried out in order to check the non-functional aspects such as performance, scalability, availability, portability, and security. So functionality testing is a type of testing carried out in order to check the functionality. So in functional testing, there are two types, namely black box testing and white box testing. So we performed the two types of testings as well. Some of the testing I carried out was unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Unit testing is a type of testing carried out with respect to each modules. Integration testing is formed by combining 2 or 3 modules. System testing is carried out in order to check the hardware requirement and software functionality requirements. Acceptance testing was carried out to check the functionality requirement before handling to the client, and the test cases were successfully achieved, and all the tests were passed. These are the acceptance criteria of the Witstep software application being developed, and it has been evaluated. So, and some of the acceptance criteria are listed here, like ability to register for the new user, to log in for the current user, to create a Witstep using video, to add resources to Witstep, to add product listings, edit the video, provide comments, rating, and sharing resources, display number of views and watch times on the video of the current user. Some of the satisfactions of the user stories are online platform to upload and view the video, successful user login, and the user can share the resources and provide the feedbacks and ratings as well. The user can alter and edit the video according to his requirements. He can change the step of instructions. User can also view the number of views and watch time in minutes of the video. And only the respective user can view this analytical representation part. Thank you.